So I really wanted to wait and make a full video on DJI's upcoming firmware upgrade once it actually was released, which by the way I have no time frame on. It could come out right after I upload this video. But anyway, I've seen a lot of websites writing articles on this upcoming firmware upgrade and a lot of people coming to me worried, sending me links of these articles. So let's talk about it. Now, if you're totally unaware of what I'm talking about, DJI gave us some notifications a couple of days ago via the DJI Go application, as well as the email that is linked to your DJI account. The notification within the app displays this. I'm sure that many of you have seen this by now, but if you haven't, you can go ahead, pause the video, and read it for yourself. The notification I am most interested in is the email, which gives us a lot more information about what we can expect. Now, what caught me off guard is that this will be a forced firmware update, meaning that you need to update your firmware or you will face some very severe throttling of your flight capabilities. Now, these limitations include a 30-meter maximum altitude, a 50-meter maximum distance, and if you thought that was bad enough, the camera's live streaming is also fully disabled, so you will not be able to actually view what the camera sees during flight. By the way, those distances in imperial units of measurement are 98 feet high and 164 feet far. There are people out there who are upset with DJI. Some even say that with this update, certain flight restrictions will be in effect in certain regions depending on the country's rules. Although in the email, it clearly states all existing flight safety limitations, such as geofencing boundaries and altitude limits, remain the same. So if they aren't adding flight restrictions, then what are they doing? Well, DJI specified that this update ensures you will use the correct set of geospatial information and flight functions for your aircraft as determined by your geographical location and user profile. Now, from that quote that I just put up on the screen, I guess I can see how some people are a little bit worried about certain flight restrictions coming to certain areas as it talks about geographical location. But in my opinion, I think that DJI is just doing some cleaning up around the edges and making sure that everyone is registered in the correct location, as there are ways out there for people to actually trick the drone into thinking it's somewhere else and then again just fly wherever you want in areas that you're not supposed to. Besides doing some cleaning up of their user database, I think that DJI is also laying the ground for something bigger to come. I made a video, I guess a couple of weeks ago now, talking about a digital license plate for a drone. So basically a device or some sort of software or again some sort of hardware that will actually allow you to scan the drone and you'll find out who the pilot is even when you can't see them. So again, I kind of got some mixed responses back from people. I actually got a lot of dislikes on that video. So I think that a lot of people are not for that idea. If you guys want to check that video out, where I went more in depth on it, I'll throw the link in the top right corner as well as in the description. I just listened back to what I just said, and don't worry, not everyone will have access to this technology. It's only for certain officials, like maybe police officials or FAA officials. Again, this technology won't be available to the public. Another reason I know that people are up in arms about this firmware update is that they bought this expensive piece of technology from DJI and were promised all of these great features. For example, on the Mavic Pro, we have 7-kilometer flight distance range or whatever, right? But it turns out that once you buy the drone, there's a firmware update that makes sure that you can't fly past 164 feet or 50 meters, whatever that flight restriction is. But all you need to do is make sure that you update the firmware and then you're good. You can continue to fly how you were. So again, in my opinion, I think that this firmware update is necessary. I like that they're making it a forced update to make sure that everyone is on the most up-to-date firmware at all times, as I know that there are some people out there who are kind of lagging behind and don't like to update their software. Also, I kind of see this as sort of a security patch like Microsoft does sometimes for Windows, or maybe even Apple does for their Mac OS. So again, I think that at sometimes forced updates are necessary, and this time I really see no problem with it. So again, right now I see really no reason to go ahead and panic. We really have no idea exactly what DJI is bringing up to the table. Again, it could be bad, it could be good, but I think that it's going to lean towards the good side. And of course, DJI is always there looking out for our best concerns. I think, or I believe at least, that they don't want to limit our use with the drone. They want to make sure we can use it as intended, but again, they need to make sure they're following certain government regulations, or depending on wherever you live, the laws that are in that certain country. So again, once we actually get some more information about this upcoming update, and once the update, I guess, gets pushed out, I'll be sure to make a full video on it like I always do. So if you want to watch that, be sure to subscribe to not miss it. But guys, that about wraps up this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new around here, as I have been trying to upload daily. Also, be sure to be on the lookout for that video, as again, it could come tomorrow, it could come, later in the week, or it could even come sometime next week. So whenever that update is out, I'll be sure to upload the video on it as fast as possible. But guys, again, as I said, this video is coming to an end, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.